Love. I know I normally have a long video title, but this one's pretty simple. And it all deals with, like, Jesus was asked a question about what's the greatest commandment in the law. And Jesus replied, love the Lord God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and all the prophets hang on these two commandments. That's it. It's pretty simple. Like, I'm not going to talk to you about your relationship with God. Hopefully, you got that figured out or are slowly figuring it out. But loving your neighbor, the concept is simple and complex at the same time. And all you got to ask yourself is, are you loving your neighbor? And the unfortunate reality is it varies, It just depends. Like, well, if you get along with them, yeah, love them. They're great. But if you don't get along with them, loving them, I don't know about that. It's almost like if you agree with people, you're more likely to love them. But if you disagree with them, loving them almost seems impossible. And I disagree with that. I think that's junk. It says love your neighbor. It doesn't say whether you agree with them or disagree with them. It doesn't matter. You love them anyways. And especially those of us that call ourselves Christian, man, they're like, we really have to love, even when it's uncomfortable and weird and awkward. If somebody's a different political party, it doesn't matter. Love them. Somebody's a different race, love them. Different social class, love them. It doesn't matter. I don't know how we can make this complicated. And it's easy to hate. It's easy to get angry, and it's easy to get frustrated and talk crap on somebody because they think differently than you. I know we all feel it, but I'm telling you, you got to learn to push past that. I guarantee you, any couple that's even been married for 30, 40 years, they're going to have times when it's not easy to love. It's easier to hate and be angry and frustrated. But I want to encourage you guys, man, you have to love your neighbors because we're all on the same team. That's what you got to remind yourself. We are all on the same team, especially here in the United States. There's no point in being divided and hating each other. There's no gain to it. It might make you feel better, a little bit more prideful and some of that other stuff, but in the long run, it's poison. Now, how do we do that? How do we love someone when we disagree with them? I'll tell you one way you don't do it. Calling them stupid, calling them idiots, saying you're an idiot for believing XYZ. That's not going to help anybody out. If anything, that's just going to reinforce the other group's idea of oh yeah, see, that's what they do. If you don't agree with them, they just talk crap on you. One thing you could do, and I know this is going to seem difficult for you, is you can listen. You can just say, you know what, man, I don't agree with you. I don't understand where you're coming from. None of that makes sense to me. But you know what? Explain it to me. Explain to me from the beginning to the end, your beliefs, where do they come from? How'd they start? And I just want to hear you out because I just genuinely don't understand it. I don't get it. And here's the thing. Just listen. Just try to understand. Don't interject. Don't try to wait for the right moment to jump in and tell them how they're wrong and tell them, oh, this is dumb or whatever. No. If you really want to love them, just listen. Now, look, there's no guarantee that you're going to end up agreeing at the end. There's no guarantee that things are going to be awesome. But at least you can understand the other person's perspective just a little bit better. And I think that shows a lot more progress to coming together as a team than talking smack and telling them, you hate them and you can't stand them. I know right now there's been a lot of things about stop Asian hate, and I agree with that. We shouldn't hate anybody. But the part for me that really stinks about that is we're focusing on the hate. Why are we focusing on hate? How about love Asians, love every race that there is? If we just loved every race and everybody and all of our neighbors, I think all of our problems would be solved. But that would require everybody trying to do that together because we're on the same team. And honestly, it kind of breaks my heart to know that I have to discourage hate and promote love. You'd think that'd be kind of wired into us. But you know what? Honestly, man, we got to come together as a team and we got to love each other. And that's what we got to do, man. That's all about love. That's it. Problem solved. You can accomplish anything you want as long as you're willing to sacrifice and put in the work. I believe in you. Go get them.